The pain started at 3 in the morning, sharp, stabbing, radiating from my lower right abdomen. I tried to sleep through it, thinking it was just cramps or something I ate. By 6, I was curled up on the bathroom floor, vomiting and unable to stand. Mom found me there at 7. She had a hair appointment at 9 and needed to get ready for her best friend Karen's wedding at 2. The dress hung on her closet door, cream-colored silk with beading she'd spent months talking about. "What's wrong?" she asked, standing in the doorway in her bathrobe, coffee mug in hand. "My stomach. Something's really wrong. It hurts so bad I can't move." "Did you eat something weird?" "No, Mom. I think I need to go to the hospital." Her expression shifted. Annoyance, that look I knew too well. "Today? You're feeling sick today?" "I can't help when it hurts. Please, something's really wrong." She sighed and set down her coffee. "Let me call Karen and tell her I'll be a bit late." "Late?" "Mom, I need to go now. I have a hair appointment in 2 hours. The wedding is at 2. I'm a bridesmaid, Emma. I can't miss this wedding." "I'm not asking you to miss it. Just take me to the hospital." She called Karen while I lay on the bathroom floor. I could hear her through the door. "Emma's having some stomach issues. I might need to push back getting ready." No, I'll definitely be there. I'm not missing your wedding. I just need to take her to urgent care real quick." Urgent care, not the emergency room. Urgent care, like this was a cold or a sprained ankle. She drove me to the urgent care clinic near our house. By then, the pain was so intense I was crying. The doctor, a young woman named Dr. Martinez, pressed on my abdomen. I screamed. "How long has the pain been this severe?" "Since about 6 this morning. And it's localized here, lower right quadrant." "Yes." She looked at Mom. "I think this is appendicitis. She needs to go to the emergency room immediately for imaging and likely surgery." Mom's face went pale. "Surgery? Today?" "Appendicitis is an emergency. If it ruptures, it can be life-threatening. She needs to be seen now." "But I have a wedding. I'm a bridesmaid. It's my best friend's wedding." Dr. Martinez stared at her. "Your daughter needs emergency surgery. Can't it wait until tomorrow? The wedding is at 2. I could take her after." "No, it cannot wait. If her appendix ruptures, she could develop sepsis. She could die. She needs to go to the emergency room right now." Mom looked at me on the exam table, then at her watch. "Emma, I've been planning for this wedding for 8 months. Karen is my best friend. I'm a bridesmaid. Do you know how important this is?" "Mom, I'm in pain. I need surgery. This wedding is too important." Her voice rose, frustration bleeding through. "I can't miss this. Karen will never forgive me. Everyone will be asking where I am. I bought a dress. I spent $200 on a dress for this wedding." Dr. Martinez interrupted. "Ma'am, your daughter is 19 years old. She can consent to her own medical care. But she needs someone with her. She needs support. Can't someone else take her?" "What about your father?" "Dad was on a business trip in Seattle. He wouldn't be back until Sunday. There's no one else." Mom stood there, torn between her daughter in pain and a wedding that would last 4 hours. I watched her face cycle through emotions, guilt, anger, resentment, desperation. "I'll call Karen," she finally said. "I'll explain. She'll understand." But when she stepped out to make the call, I heard the conversation through the thin walls. Karen's voice, even muffled, sounded upset. Mom's voice got higher, more pleading. Then silence. Mom came back in. "Karen says if I miss her wedding, our friendship is over. She said she's been planning this for a year and everyone has their role. And if I don't show up, I'm not the person she thought I was." "So what are you saying?" "I'm saying I'll take you to the emergency room and get you admitted. But then I have to leave. I have to get ready. The wedding is at 2, and it's already 9:30. I need to do my hair and makeup, and I have to be there early for photos." Something in me cracked. "You're going to drop me off at the hospital and leave me there alone for surgery. You're 19. You're an adult. Plenty of people go through surgery alone. I'm your daughter. And Karen is my best friend of 15 years. Do you know what it would do to our friendship if I missed her wedding? Do you know how much this means to her?" Dr. Martinez interrupted again. "I need to send her to the ER now. Every minute we delay increases the risk of rupture." Mom drove me to Valley Memorial Hospital. She checked me in at the emergency desk and waited while they took me back for a CT scan. The scan confirmed acute appendicitis. Surgery was scheduled for 1 o'clock. It was 11:15. The wedding started at 2. Mom stood by my bed in the pre-op area. I was in a hospital gown, IV in my arm, trying not to cry. The surgeon had explained the procedure: general anesthesia, laparoscopic removal, 2 to 3 hours in surgery, recovery overnight. I have to go, Mom said. I have to get ready. You'll be fine. The nurses are here. The doctors know what to do. I'll come back after the reception. Mom, please. Please don't leave. Emma, stop being so dramatic. People have surgery every day. You'll be asleep through the whole thing. You won't even know I'm gone. I'll know when I wake up alone. You're 19 years old. You need to grow up. The world doesn't stop because you're having a medical procedure. I have obligations. Karen is counting on me. The wedding party will be incomplete without me. The photos will be ruined. I can't do that to her. She left at 11:30. I watched her walk out of the pre-op area in her regular clothes, heading home to put on her bridesmaid dress and drive to a wedding, while I went into surgery alone. The nurses were kind. They saw I was alone, and one of them, a woman named Angela, held my hand while they wheeled me to the OR. The anesthesiologist spoke gently, explaining what would happen. The surgeon squeezed my shoulder and promised I'd be fine. But none of them were my mother. I woke up at 4 in the afternoon in the recovery area, groggy, nauseous, my abdomen aching from the incisions. A nurse was checking my vitals. How are you feeling? Tired. It hurts. That's normal. We'll give you pain medication. Is your mom here yet? No, she went to a wedding. The nurse's expression flickered. Surprise, judgment, pity. Well, someone should be here with you. Do you have anyone you can call? I called my roommate, Jessica. She came within an hour, brought me clean clothes, and sat with me while I cried. Not from the pain of the surgery, but from the absence of the person who should have been there. Mom showed up at 8 that evening, still in her bridesmaid dress. She smelled like champagne and perfume. How did it go? They removed my appendix. It was about to rupture. The surgeon said if I'd waited another few hours, it would have been much worse. Well, good thing we got you here when we did. She sat down in the chair by my bed. The wedding was beautiful. Karen looked stunning. The venue was incredible. You should have seen the flowers. I stared at her. I had emergency surgery. And you're fine now. Everything worked out. Karen was so happy I was there. She said it wouldn't have been the same without me. She cried when she saw me because she was worried I wouldn't come. I cried because you left me. Oh, Emma, don't be dramatic. You're fine. You came through surgery perfectly. And I was there for Karen on the most important day of her life. Everyone wins. Except I didn't feel like I'd won anything. I felt like I'd learned exactly where I stood in my mother's priorities. Below a friendship, below a party, below someone else's special day. That was 8 years ago. 8 years of building a life where I didn't depend on Mom for anything important. I graduated college, got a job in marketing at a pharmaceutical company, worked my way up and changed companies twice, each time for better positions. At 27, I was hired as marketing director at Biotech Solutions, a mid-sized company developing medical devices. I managed a team of 12, reported directly to the VP, and made decisions about campaigns and hiring. Mom and I maintained a surface relationship, birthday phone calls, Christmas dinners. She talked about Karen constantly. Karen's new house. Karen's promotion. Karen's kids. Karen this, Karen that. The friendship that had been worth more than my surgery. Mom worked for Karen's company, half for 15 years. Karen had started a consulting firm right after her wedding and hired Mom as her office manager. Mom was proud of working for her best friend, proud of being part of Karen's success story. Then last month, Mom called crying. Karen fired me. What? She fired me. After 15 years, she said the company's restructuring and my position is being eliminated. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. I don't understand. We're best friends. I was at her wedding. I helped her build this company. I've been loyal to her for 15 years. And she just let me go. Gave me 2 weeks severance and told me to clear out my desk. The irony wasn't lost on me. The friend Mom had chosen over my emergency surgery had discarded her without hesitation. What are you going to do? I don't know. I've been applying to jobs, but no one wants to hire a 52-year-old office manager. Everyone wants people who know the new software, who can do social media. I don't know how to do any of that. She sounded desperate, lost. For a moment, I felt sympathy. Then she said, "Do you think your company is hiring? Could you put in a word for me?" You want to work at my company? I need a job, Emma. I have a mortgage. I have bills. I've been looking for a month and no one's calling me back. You're a director. You must have influence. Could you help me? I thought about being 19, lying on a gurney, begging her not to leave. I thought about waking up alone after surgery. I thought about her coming in smelling like champagne, talking about how beautiful the wedding was. Let me think about it. 2 weeks passed. Mom called daily. Her savings were running low. She'd had to borrow money from Dad to make her mortgage payment. She was getting desperate. Then yesterday she showed up at my office. I was in a meeting when my assistant knocked. Your mother is here. She doesn't have an appointment, but she says it's urgent. I wrapped up the meeting and went to the lobby. Mom was there, dressed in an interview suit that was slightly too big. She'd lost weight from stress. Her eyes were red. Emma, please, I need to talk to you. I brought her back to my office and closed the door. She started crying before she even sat down. I can't find a job. I've applied to 50 places. No one will hire me. I'm too old, too inexperienced with new technology. I'm going to lose my house. Please, Emma, please help me. You're a director here. You hire people. There must be something. Reception, data entry, anything. I'll take anything. I looked at her across my desk. This woman who had left me alone for emergency surgery because a wedding was more important. This woman who had chosen her best friend over her daughter in pain. You're asking me to help you after Karen threw you away. Don't say it like that. That's what happened. You sacrificed me for her. And she discarded you anyway. I made a mistake, okay? I should have stayed with you that day. But I was trying to be a good friend to Karen. I thought friendship meant showing up no matter what. And being a mother means what? She flinched. I know I hurt you. I've regretted it. But that was 8 years ago. Are you really going to hold that against me forever? You told me to grow up, that the world doesn't stop for a medical procedure, that you've had obligations. Emma, please, I'm begging you. I need this job. I need help. I'm your mother. I thought about Angela, the nurse who held my hand before surgery. About Jessica, my roommate who came when I called. About all the people who had shown up for me when my own mother wouldn't. We have an opening in administrative support. It's entry level, filing, data entry, scheduling. It pays $38,000 a year. You'd be reporting to the office manager who reports to someone who reports to me. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you so much. But you need to understand something. I'm recommending you for this position as a candidate, not as my mother. You'll go through the normal interview process. You'll be evaluated on your qualifications. And if you get hired, you'll be treated like any other employee. No special treatment. No exceptions. Of course, I understand. And if you ever bring up our personal relationship at work or try to use me for advancement, you'll be fired immediately. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I understand. Thank you, Emma. You don't know what this means. I do know. It means you're in the position I was in 8 years ago, desperate and needing support from someone who could choose to leave. She looked at me, understanding finally dawning. I'm not leaving, I said. I'm going to help you because that's what family should do. But don't mistake this for forgiveness. Don't mistake professional courtesy for repairing what you broke. This is me being the person you couldn't be. I forwarded her information to HR. She had an interview next week. As she left my office, still crying, but with relief instead of desperation, I thought about Karen, the best friend who had been so important. The woman who had been worth more than a daughter's surgery. The friend who had fired Mom without hesitation after 15 years. Mom had learned the hard way what relationships actually mattered, what loyalty actually meant, which people showed up when things got hard. I just hoped the lesson hadn't come too late.